it's called the our members of the public. Doesn't we don't do introductions. So start with the minutes from last meeting.
Let's see.
Was in November, because in December we got snowed out and then
Okay.
informal. Yeah. Yeah. November meeting was.
I thought they looked fine. I make a motion, we approve the minutes. Second.
Actually, sorry. That meeting, I was not there. I think
Okay.
I was in that was the only thing I had seen.
Write Chad's name.
I was out of state.
Okay. So items 3 and 4 are sort of related. Sure. Okay, then 2 items, but one is the action plan on this trail, discussion of the RFP project distribution. So just in terms of action plan. Well, looking at sort of the manual that the MTP put out, where I interpreted it is that we need to get their sign off before we issue our, so it's just sort of factor that in. In terms of sort of what how we could judge the RFP. The manual says that it has to be awarded to the lowest. This is where it gets a little bit lowest qualified. Let's see where it is.
That's page 13, I think. Oh, no, maybe that's not, maybe that's. Yeah, the only thing that says lowest is procurement requirements.
Yeah. What page, where we?
That was 13.
Picture?
Yeah.
It's really not much on the RFP stuff, is it?
There really is.
Yeah, so
Lowest qualified bid price.
contract must be awarded to the vendor with the lowest qualified bid price. So I think that then the question becomes qualified? What does that mean? So this is probably where we would want to work with the MTP just to make sure there's no in the guidelines, there's no prescriptions of what qualifications required. And I was trying to remember where, in my mind I had like, the 5-year trail construction experience. That was in Steve's write-up, the design memo, which, we submitted to the program in terms of, sort of, I think it ran, I don't know if maybe you could, Berlin, if you could look that up to see what we said about, I think there was a question about how would you assure that the contract is qualified? And I think we said we would do it according to the recommendations.
That would have been the main application, right?
Yeah.
Okay. find it from there then. So. Project design, yeah, how are they qualified? Contracted outdoor, so who designed or will design your project, describe their qualifications. So outdoor sports institute to do a feasibility study. And then we describe Steve's qualifications, his history. Or what?
No, this is for the, how are you?
Oh, the construction.
Yeah,
The project construction will be managed by a team consisting of Monmouth Trails Committee, Monmouth Town Management Manager, RSU two, Buildings and Grounds Director. The group has experience in project administration. So it's, the town manager has so we basically said that
did we say anything in terms of like how,
who we're hiring, no.
but we said we're gonna do a competitive bid process, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And some managed RFP awards on maintain thorough document. In contract administration, so I'll just read it off. The work will be completed by a qualified external contractor selected by a competitive bid process. That's what we said,
That's
and
it.
that's exactly what they want, that's exactly.
We didn't get into the qualification.
No, we didn't.
I would probably, want to get the sign up, but I would say, you know, the qualifications that, you know, are per our, you know, design memo that we submitted in terms of the grant. Which are, so, you know, Steve's recommendations, 5 years of professional trail.
I thought that was actually in the R2P program someplace.
That I've
Was it
just
not?
started
I didn't
looking.
see it anywhere.
Power on that wall in place.
Yes,
Yeah, right there.
it's in the program guidance document. Oh, no, it really isn't. It
didn't
doesn't
see
really
anything.
define it anywhere, yeah,
I didn't see it either.
yeah. Makes it very hard, and did they offer us a list of qualified?
There's a list of trail construction contractors.
That came from MTP? Okay,
Um,
so I would assume they're qualified.
I don't know
It
exactly.
wasn't from MTP, it was then from the other.
Oh,
That they
that's
run.
right.
Um,
Oh, trail planning design hub resources.
so I couldn't find anything, guidance. Or qualification.
Should, I mean, I can reach out.
So. Yeah, if you want to, and you want to,
If I can draft a. Who would we reach out to?
I think
Doug?
that, or, Adam. Probably.
And maybe they have a template for an RFP, same time.
That'd be great.
If they have a recommendation, we can start there as the first draft.
The other thing that Steve said in his memo was he has scoring matrix, which is similar to what I've done, sort of, you know, when I've, you know, awarded these in the past, but I'm not sure we could do this, given what the guidance program said. He has 50 points on experience, 34 points on price, how many points per schedule?
Well, that would be, that might be one of the reasons why you want to ask the program for some, template for the RFP. Because
Yeah, if
Because you're right, that would not necessarily be the lowest cost qualified
Right,
bidder.
right.
Qualification is like a yes or no. Are you?
Right, qualifications, we could say 5 years minimum, minimum 1 mile of.
Right.
Those three things, we could say these are the qualifications. If you have the lowest price, according to that, it
You're
seems
in.
like that's right.
Right.
Nothing
So
else.
it's not a scoring process. It's a yes, no, and give us the best price.
Right.
Jump over this bar,
Right,
and are you the lowest guy?
right. That's what it seems to be.
Right.
So I guess that's.
Should
So
I even
two
bother?
questions. No, well, I think I would ask two questions. One is, yeah, I would ask the qualifications. Could we, we've had these were in the design memo and we were,
There's no reason why we couldn't score the qualifications. Meaning, you're qualified if you get 5 out of these 10 items, right? Because you don't want to overqualify your requirement and then have 0 applicants,
Right.
right? So you do want to have some flexibility about
well, the,
how you say, are you a qualified person or not? Or a qualified entity. And there were nothing there. So there would be sort of our discretion, right? We don't have a discretion if they are qualified, but because we got to go with the lowest cost. But if we have discretion on qualifications and we set up the idea of how you become qualified as a point scale.
what can you use for qualifications?
Yeah.
What can you use
Yeah.
for qualification?
Yeah.
Here's,
So,
I would say, here's some possibilities, but are there other things that could also be
Right.
considered? Like in qualifications, in terms of can a person's, work plan be, how they would.
Right.
Implement the project.
X number, I mean, you could say meet 5 out of 10 of these items. Qualifications to show us you're qualified, and then make up 10 things. And hope that we get a bunch of people who get more than 5.
So I did a quick chat GPT. And the answers here match very closely with what we're talking about. So I just want to read what it says here. So I asked specifically about the main trails program and it says, if it's under 10,000 or between 10 and 20.
Right.
If it's over 20, it needs to be publicly advertised. Competitive bid. Qualified bidder. What does qualified mean in this context? So it says, while this guidance doesn't list a fixed set of universal qualification, it implicitly requires that 1, the bidder must be capable of performing the scope of the work described in the bid documents. 2, the bid must be responsive, so it meets all the specifications and requirements of the solicitation. And the bidder must be responsible, able to perform the contract based on financial, technical, and legal capacity. And then it says, this is consistent with standard public procurement terminology. So a qualified bidder is one who has demonstrated the ability and eligibility to perform the job. And public contracting rules generally allow the award authority to determine whether the lowest bidder is qualified to do it. So I think it's not specific as long as we evaluate and determine.
So you can
we
sort of,
feel,
there could be some subjective.
Some discretion.
Which would be good.
Good. Yeah.
That it's not like experience. It doesn't necessarily have to be.
We did put in that document, well, we did refer to Steve's document and he
Right.
did have some things in there.
He had
saying
the
you need to
minimum.
have some minimum qualifications.
I would, and you could do both, really. I mean, you could have minimum and you could say, it'd be based, we'll base it on experience and in considering.
I'll have Chat GPT write it.
Yeah.
It'd be done in about 4 seconds.
I think we should ask him. I really do.
Yeah,
I
we should-
think
we should
I think we should ask him what,
A draft
you know, how,
recommendation.
uh, in, in terms of qualifications, is there some, aspect where we could use our subjective, uh, judgment and, in reviewing, um, the experience, it's not just, a minimum that we could sort of look at, sort of,
So I said,
Well, can I just, before we
Yeah.
jump in, can we just ask for like an old RFP of the old program? Because it seems very similar.
Right.
So like a sample one that we can base it off
Yeah.
of.
Plug that into ChatGPT and say, hey,
Yeah,
update
and
this
then,
for us.
and then at least we're kind of referencing something that
yeah,
they've
yeah,
approved before too.
yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, and ask them. They could send us some,
Yeah, like,
Template.
yeah, template or
Yeah.
samples. I don't know if they have a template. but-
okay, so I said I'm part of the Common Trails Committee, and we were fortunate enough to be awarded the MTP grant this cycle. Can you define what qualified means, and the contract must be awarded to the vendor with the lowest qualified bid price?
Yeah.
What would we use for qualifications so we make an appropriate selection? A sample RFP would also be helpful if there are any available.
I'd reference the old trail program, wasn't it?
A sample RFP from the old trail
What
program.
was the acronym RTP?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Just so they
Oh,
look at for it.
yeah.
Given that the snake has swallowed the elephant, it would preclude us to jump on this quickly so that we don't run into log jams. Like there's gonna be a demand for these types of contractors.
Yeah.
I
Right,
mean, we just ran into this problem on a different grant that we received about flooding, right? We had a flooding grant where we needed to hire a very specialized person, engineer for hydrological purposes, and we got backed up because we didn't get our
right,
ask in quickly enough.
right.
Because there was only two of them in the state. So I would say, let's jump on this
Oh, yeah.
and let's,
Right. I mean, I think it would be great to get this, like,
Yeah.
they could respond quickly. I
Yeah.
mean, my thinking was, I was hoping could even have a draft, like, early January,
Yeah.
like have,
Yeah.
like, if we get this, I think but this is the important thing, is to find out exactly sort of what we could do in terms of our our judgment of these, how much,
discretion.
how much,
Yeah.
how much discretion is when, in terms of qualifications, is it just a pure sort of numbers thing where you have to say, X number of years of experience, this is, and then they're qualified?
Right.
Or can it be, you look at it and then based on experience, you pick the best qualified, I'm not, I'm not sure if you look at the guidance thing.
Yeah,
we
it's
could
super
do
clear.
that.
It's not-
It's not super clear because the guidance thing seems to say you have to use the lowest price for
Which is fine,
lowest qualified.
but we should, yeah, but if they're, one of those, companies that that have never done it before, but they're the lowest price, so that they can get, how like some of these
Right.
companies,
Well,
like we
I
wouldn't
mean, the
necessarily want
qualifications, the
that.
qualifications you could sort of set out, you have to have done a certain number of these things,
Yes.
like what Steve suggests, But within that, there could be level, I mean, and that's in his, Steve's memo, he says, shouldn't just be based on price, which I agree with,
Right.
Because
The other,
because, so it doesn't necessarily mean, lowest doesn't necessarily mean the best bid.
Mhm.
Lowest price doesn't necessarily mean the best bid.
best value.
Uh,
The other part of this, as we're thinking about the RFP, is to assemble the team that's actually gonna be doing, the judging. of the process, right? And that's RSU, that's the town manager, that's, and we say that these are the people, the stakeholders
Yeah,
in this
that's who we
management
had
group.
listed.
So we might want to think about, getting the ball rolling with an RFP and coming up with a draft of the RFP and then having a meeting on everybody's calendar so that we can bring a draft to that meeting and say, here's, here are our thoughts. What do you guys think about this? And then it becomes something that, we could release.
On the RFP. Yeah, in terms of circulating it too, but then.
Yeah.
And then having them give us feedback. Yeah, right.
But those are busy people. So I would say if we're looking at trying to pull them all together, I mean, maybe they could do it electronically and maybe that's,
That might be the way to
Feasible.
honestly.
I wouldn't, yeah,
I'm
I don't think
nervous with how
I
hard
wouldn't
it is to reach.
I
them
probably wouldn't
sometimes.
try to set, I would just have them give us feedback.
electronic feedback.
Yeah, just give them the
Yeah.
RFP and
As,
give them
as
some
difficult,
details.
as difficult it was to sort of get a hold of Rick and stuff, I
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
and I mean, if you don't give us feedback, we assume you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Hearing none.
Right, well, really?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
Right.
Sort of the way it works.
Yeah.
I mean, to help get the ball rolling too, we could take advantage of the season that's coming up because I'll have a week off of work. So during that downtime, whatever we need to like draft or do anything, we can start playing in the background while others are kind of on vacation, giving us a little leg up when it comes to everybody coming back for the New Year's. We'll already have potentially a draft or something. Be like, let's keep going.
Right.
I'd be willing to donate my time to do that.
Cool.
So we could, yeah, try and circulate some stuff before the next meeting.
Shall I
But-
send off this email then, or do we wanna? I said also, in terms of qualifications, is there X number of years of experience to be considered qualified or some other metric? So he knows what we're actually looking for.
Yeah.
I don't have to include that. All right, I'm gonna send it off. Done. I CC'd you
Okay.
and Doug. And so
Okay,
Yeah.
good, yeah, that's good.
forward it to everybody as I get a response.
Okay,
I didn't wanna have an email with 10 people CC'd on it.
so, yeah, because we do, I mean, I agree with you, Ken. The earlier we get on it, the better. And, we do need to get the sign off from the MTP before we issue it.
And how do we get that signed?
It says submit documents to the Grants and Communication Recreation Office for review and approval before public announcement.
So we submit our proposed RFP.
I would send it to Adam, yeah. So here's what we could do.
Because
What
it
do you
doesn't
think?
specify who we're mailing it to, which would. When we have our bids out.
In terms of, so the only thing they talk about advertising.
Yeah.
The RFP.
Yeah.
Or where are RFPs?
I don't know where does the town, do they do the Kennebec Journal?
No, they usually, when they have an RFP, they're sending it to Maine Municipal. And there are a lot of contractors that know to go to, look for work at Maine Municipal.
Okay, so, and I would send it to all the people, but I would probably
Yeah,
direct.
Yeah.
I did get an email from somebody who was interested
good.
in it. And I mean, I haven't responded, but I'm gonna say,
We're formulating the RFP as we
yeah,
speak.
yeah, we'll send you, put you on the list again.
Yep.
Copy.
Stay tuned.
So. Did,
On the grant, just on this, what was interesting to me was what was awarded across the state. It seemed like the maximum was 250.
Mhm.
that was a nice.
So it seemed like there might have been projects that might have been scaled back, I'm sure, right? Is that the maximum?
250 is the maximum grant. You could have a project that's higher, but all you're gonna get
It's 250.
is 250.
Okay.
Seems like they gave it mostly to the cities for the bigger projects, the full amount.
But it's-
When I was looking through who received 250 and who did it.
Do we come across any MTP number
Really?
that we have
You know,
yet?
small towns like
Regarding
mine,
our,
are we kind of an outlier.
Well, we didn't get the full amount.
Because I was reading through here and it says like that the
Oh, well, we asked for
MTP
more than
number
we got.
must be used on all correspondence, contract
We got
documents.
less than,
invoices.
so did we ask for
Do we need to
230?
reach out and ask what our TP number is?
I think, so
No, I think that's.
I think they're, well, we might get
Did
that.
we get
at
exactly
the,
what we asked for?
yeah. There's gonna be a meeting.
We killed it
Okay.
then. We did well because like the bigger cities like the Auburn and stuff were the ones who got 250 now.
Yeah, so were there any other like 4,000 population municipalities
I know that's
that-
good advertisement.
that get a substantial award like this?
We should definitely brag about
I see any.
what the place
It's a
is.
thing though, it said round one.
Yeah, there's round one awardees here. Let's
Yeah,
see.
he's on the phone.
Appalachian Trail Mountain Club,
No, they're big.
Brewer, Brunswick,
They're big. Brewer.
Dennisville Snowmobile Club got a lot.
Dennisville.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's way out there.
That's the Willy Wax.
That's out there. That's.
That's in the hundreds, population in the hundreds.
It's
No,
not the end of the world, but you can see it.
Yeah.
Lakeville got quite a bit.
Bigville,
Yeah. Lakeville got 247.
West Lake.
It's near it's close to unincorporated territory because Lakeville's.
So, yeah, some of those like clubs are, I mean, they've been around for
they're big.
a long time. They're, well, I mean, it's a big, the town might be small, but I think their catchment area is big.
Oakland got one
That's about our
for
size.
150. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rockland
I mean,
got
bigger,
one
bigger.
for 250. Rockland's.
Rockland's
bigger than us,
bigger,
though.
yeah.
We might be the smallest town to have made that.
Huh.
I would say so. I would say so. Yeah, Sears
All right.
Mont got.
Angela got 175 to build a park and ride facility.
Okay.
Where is that?
Angela. The
That's about our
snowmobile park.
Yeah.
They need it.
Is it? Chaos.
It's scans. There's one stretch, you're like,
Just too many snowmobiles,
yeah,
too many trailers.
not enough gas stations.
A lot of land trusts.
Land trusts.
Biles got some. Biles
Yeah,
of
But it was, I mean,
We did well.
Yeah,
We did
fine.
very well. Yeah, a lot of nonprofits, but I think we did excellent. For the size of the town.
so there's, in terms of the timeline, the other thing that will happen sort of early is there's supposed to be, there'll be a meeting. February.
Grantees.
And at that point, like, there'll be further instructions given, but also the project agreements will be entered into after that meeting. And then we can't really do anything until we fill that project agreement, I mean, in terms of spending money.
And we issued the RFP.
I think we
before
can,
then.
I think we can. If yeah, if we're sort of moving along in January, I think we could send it to, get the sign off tape, is that okay? Send, and I think we can, that's my interpretation, that you can issue, but you can't decide on it. You can't decide on the winner, spend any money.
Right, yes. Can't commit to anything.
So I think that's sort of where things are on that. I emailed Justin to see if he wanted to get together to talk about the RFP. Okay.
Did look at the Professional Trail Builders Association, and it's an international organization, but there's two people in Maine that are part of that. One's right in Turner, and then the other is up in Troy. So Troy's obviously, Turner's close, so that's a good opportunity to at least pick somebody's brain maybe in regards to it, but.
Yeah, that would be really nice, because we could meet them in person, even show them the site.
I think if you're gonna do site visits, you probably need to open it.
Yes.
I was gonna say, I think
You could, you could, we
can't
could do,
before the
we could
RFP.
do, we could
Oops.
say, I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's a
think,
good point.
that's what
Never mind.
we could say we're gonna have a site visit day and, you know.
Oh, yeah,
As
like
part
an
of the
open
RFP.
house.
Yeah, you could say,
You put it in the RFP.
Yeah.
you could
And then
say,
people who wanna show up, show up.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Um,
It's part of the sales pitch for them.
So do you think at this meeting they're having, they're gonna have like a project agreement? Like I'm reading this for the general stuff and it says we have to use this MTP project number noted on our project agreement.
right, I think they'll probably provide them.
And in the meantime, we'll be running this stuff, doing that. Okay. This is just me talking out loud, trying to get my brain straight.
Okay,
All right.
anything
So how
else?
much of the proposal what do we think that we will include in the RFP documentation as far as the description of the project? I'm just going to take it right out of Steve's.
I would attach the
I would
design
attach that and put a cover
Like
letter.
stuff
on
that
it.
we used.
I think, yeah,
This is
so
what
I,
we're doing.
yeah, this is, I mean, you know, it's like, you know, the design should be consistent with the concept, you know, memo. To the extent it's not, there should be explanation, full explanation why there's deviation. But I think, you know, expectation would be to
It could
follow.
be as simple as that, describing what kind of submission we want and
Yeah.
describing all of the
I- right.
qualifications that we have for the.
I think that's it. I don't think it has to be much more complicated.
Did Sean say he's gonna follow up with Randy about that field redesign issue where that might be part of the field? Should we include that unless, I guess we don't need to include it if there's nothing that's gonna really happen, but I know that that was an issue that might mess with our design that we might need to mention.
Close, they might.
Well, I think we need to make sure that their design is not messing up our design.
Yes.
I like the way you worded it.
Yes.
I think that's more important.
It
It's
is, ultimately.
because, well, I mean, the school signed off
Yeah.
on this and we submitted it based on what they did, so.
There will be no
Legal-
rug yanking.
Yes, absolutely not.
Yeah. All right, cool.
It's important.
Yeah, I guess the question is how
and-
close can we build the trail to a property line if there's no setbacks? I mean, obviously there is a hard
Right.
rock wall there, so
I'm
whatever.
sure. Oh, and we can always get some sort of agreement letter from Catherine. She would be uncomfortable with.
But I think as in the design, I don't think there's any inconsistency with the zoning as it's designed. So in the user agreement with the RSU said basically incorporates the design from the Steve's memo.
Yes.
So I think they've agreed
They have.
to that. So I think that the important thing to make sure is that they don't infringe on the design that they do.
Did that change? Because we were talking about a bullpen, right? Didn't we walk it and it was
It was a
fine?
bullpen, but then I guess they talked about
They were gonna build it on.
changing the field somehow.
So this is new news?
This is, yeah.
Yeah, Sean was gonna find out.
Yeah.
Um,
So let's keep Sean on the hook for that one,
right, yeah.
for the next meeting.
Yeah, we should set Sean a note and just ask him.
Yeah.
If he sort of has any more information. He should be able to.
Fine,
Bob
yeah.
rush it.
Okay, anything else? No, yeah,
We'll have a good idea. Hear back from
Yeah,
Adam.
yeah.
And then we'll just maybe in the next meeting draft up.
yeah, I might try to
Or,
do
yeah,
something beforehand.
Yeah, we can review it.
Yeah,
Do some emails, keep us in the loop.
yeah,
Whatever free time I have, I'll
Yeah.
be happy to.
I,
take
you know, I
advantage of
like,
vacation.
I think it could be fairly simple, you know, because we have the design. Right, you know, we have the design, basically. It's, all right. Is Prescott Hill stuff?
I walked in last week, I saw some ski tracks.
Really?
Yeah, people are out there.
Thank you for putting those stakes out there.
Yeah, were they in the
I
right
did have
spot?
to take them down.
Oh, you did?
They were in the perfect spot,
Yeah.
but they were doing Christmas trees in that area. And the guy said, I can't have anything there right now. So I took them down. If I can get them back in again, I'll put them back in, but I might not be able to get them back in again this year. They were perfect.
Bring a big hammer.
Still not really much frost in the ground, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's snow covered. You might be able to get it.
What's that? Yeah.
Um,
On Friday.
I printed a new map, put it out on the Facebook page, so you can pass that around. So it has the snowshoe stuff. I still don't have measurements, distances, but at some point, you know. I have not printed out a new map at the trailhead or printed out new maps for the signs that are out there in the woods. I did groom the trails this week and we've had a few people out skiing, a few people out snowshoeing.
Oh, great.
Yeah. This end of the week is gonna make a mess of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, Friday doesn't look too good.
50 degrees.
Let me go put that
50,
down.
50 doesn't, so doesn't
Yeah.
do good at 50 degrees. Rain.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. We were
That's too
supposed,
bad.
yeah.
but it looks really cold next week. I guess
That's
going
what they
back to
say.
normal cold
Yeah, back to
temperature.
single digits.
Yep,
It works down, it'll be good.
yeah. They'll come back
A
with a
couple of
nice
snow
sheet of ice
opportunities.
underneath.
Let's make it fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Friday,
the trails
maybe
were
snow on
fast
Friday.
today.
Looks
Kathy
great.
and I went out today.
Been over there a few times, there's always been people out there, it's been good for you, I see tracks.
I don't know if Sean is still looking into any kind of building a box out there for donations. I can touch base with them.
Okay, I did, talk to Mike about getting an account set up. And he's actually trying to have a separate sort of bucket for the rec, for the town accounting. And then he does that, I think we probably could get it, but that's sort of in the works now. It sounds like right now, everything is just tracked through the general ledger, which is probably system. So, he said he's gonna work on it. I mean, I think, which was good. I'll follow up with him. Return, I think we probably could do what,
This might go into the next. Account for contributions. We talked about creating like an entity to receive donations too, right? Is that where we're going outside of the
Right, we
town?
had talked about that after we got the grant.
That would make it a little bit easier than the town receiving donations. To have a separate, I mean, I'm sure if you talk to Justin about this, he'll get a little, he'll start to squirm in his chair. about the town receiving donations and being responsible for keeping track of, the fiduciary responsibility of being the holder of donations with a certain intent. So, setting up a nonprofit to work alongside us,
Friends of the trails.
Friends of Monmouth Trails, so that we've got an organization, might even be the same collection of individuals, but it would give us a little more.
You think that'd be the easier way to?
Totally. Yeah, I can tell you right now, Justin, his brain would explode. Well, someone gives money for a certain thing, right?
Right.
They give you $100 and they want it to go to the Prescott Hill Trail and not to that
Right,
thing,
right,
right?
yeah.
And so
Right.
then you got to keep track of like.
Right. I think it
Where
would
did it
be,
get spent?
it still would be a good idea, and hopefully Mike can do this, is set up separate accounts for things that are like, because I think we're gonna, I mean, if we're looking at, say, if we're starting to spend money, right?
Mhm.
Like on maintenance stuff, so how do we, how is,
For other trails, you mean?
yeah, I mean, if we say like, I mean, I think at some point, right, don't we want to be able to go to the town and say, okay, we would like you to allocate, $1,500 for maintenance. for
Sure.
this,
So that would just be an expenditure, that not an income, right?
that would be an expenditure.
Yeah, so the path for that is to put together a proposal. In fact, now is the time to be thinking about that because we're just starting our budgeting process. Right, we're
Okay.
just starting a budgeting
Okay.
process
Okay.
for the
So
next
that's-
fiscal year.
Okay,
And
so,
put together a proposal,
okay,
a list of items and what you might want to spend on it.
okay,
You could start with the Economic Development Committee because it'd probably be TIF funded because it's trail related.
Yes.
okay,
And then come make a presentation. The Economic Development Committee would have to, I don't know how we would function, because we wouldn't have a quorum. We probably wouldn't be able to vote on it. So then maybe they go straight to the select board, I think probably is the way to go.
so,
So anyway, come up with a proposal, I'll tell
Okay.
you where to go with it.
So- for that, should we, as part of that, in terms of putting a budget together to get it put in the amounts we're expecting the town will need to spend match? That been set aside,
That has already been committed to and set aside and voted on,
okay,
so that's done.
okay,
And I'll double check with Justin on that. But I think we've already allocated that.
I think we're okay,
Based on a vote of the select
Okay.
board. Let me find out for you in terms of the match.
okay,
But if there are other expenses, let's say, you wanted to buy, I don't know, clippers and rakes and shovels for, the committee to, for the committee to maintain the Prescott Hill trails,
right,
right? And it's gonna cost $1,000 of hand tools. Then, give us a one pager. And now would be the time to be asking for something like the next month or two. Be the
Okay.
time to be asking for some, it's a maintenance thing, it's not a capital expense. It would probably be funded by TIF expenditure,
okay,
right? So it would come from a TIF account. Normally that goes through the Economic Development Committee, but we got half the committee sitting here right now, so I don't think we're probably gonna be able to do anything because we have a conflict of interest, can't vote on it, we don't have quorum. So if that's the case, then you guys just bring the proposal to the select board
Okay.
and they can make the decision.
Okay.
And I'll be there to be able to explain why the Economic Development Committee couldn't reach a decision.
That's helpful.
Um. Do you and maybe, I don't know, Dave and Sean wanna see if, to like, because you have some, experience of what spent and what you might need.
Stakes, hand tools,
Yeah.
clippers,
I can get a list.
not an excavator.
That's here too.
I mean, might be good
I
to
know what-
start off sort of small,
Yeah.
but I think there's stuff that, I think there's stuff
Still not looking for anything, right?
okay, but it seems like I don't know, it just seems like you do,
Culverts,
putting your own money out.
Snowmobile.
stuff would be helpful.
Yeah.
Would it,
Like hardware to put in a culvert or to build a bridge or something like that, materials like that.
It's like a $500 culvert.
would a snowmobile be too much for
That's
that
way too much
ask?
money. $1,000.
Yeah, I don't think the town wants to own a
Yeah.
snowmobile.
Probably not.
Because then there's maintenance costs, where's it gonna be stored, who's gonna, be responsible with the keys, blah, blah.
What about, as far
Culvert
as,
isn't going anywhere. It's rolling.
what about like, as far as donations go, are there any existing nonprofits that would like, we could make an agreement with, this is the Monmouth money pile or, or something? Or would it just make more sense to do our own? Because then, like if Kennebec Land Trust wants a sticker, but then would do all of that for us, it seems like. Or Cobussy Watershed or whoever would feel like it would be a good thing to, I don't know. But I also don't know if it's that hard to start a nonprofit.
It is not.
It is not, then we probably should just do our own.
We just need a good lawyer.
Oh my goodness, I know one.
There is a certain, there's some registration.
Yeah, it's like $125 to get.
Oh,
registered.
okay.
And then if
Yeah,
if you want to do the next step, which is to get a 501c3 status, then just set aside, 4 or 5 months of waiting after you fill out the paperwork.
All right, well, we could start working on that.
Yeah, and I, honestly, I think if we're gonna be soliciting donations for the purpose of, investing them in trails.
Yeah.
Then you don't want to get the town involved with that. That's gonna be a nightmare. I think what you'd want is a separate nonprofit with its own bank account and a board of directors. You start off with 3. No fewer than 3. And you could fill out the paperwork and it's $125 to get registered. You have to hire an attorney to be your
Yeah.
agent.
You have to have a registered agent.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could use O'Donnell's if you want. Good speed O'Donnell.
Yeah, you could be your own, you could designate yourself.
You could, but it's always helpful to have sort of,
Someone.
especially if you're asking for donations, people want to know that there's some legitimacy there and that there are third parties sort of keeping track of you. So having it's not like the O'Donnells are cleaning up on
Right.
nonprofit business.
I
They
think
make like
they
$125 a year or something. Yeah.
Okay. Add this to the. thing
Add to the
on
list.
the agenda.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Couple things to track there next.
and, asked Mike about coming to a meeting, he said, got quite a bit of, basketball activity with his kids right now. So maybe. But yeah, you could,
What's going on at the high school time? I noticed the parking lot full of cars.
basketball, and then there's wrestling.
Gotcha. That's where Sean is.
Yes.
Gotcha.
rail members. Chad, you mentioned somebody that might good and interested or went there for pizza?
I went to a trails committee meeting.
Oh,
In
that's right.
Greenfield.
That's Greenfield.
I mentioned anything.
Any of them want to join us?
I thought you said that.
You had somebody? Rudy?
If so, but
Well, then get on it.
I'll work on it.
Well, if in the middle of that, you remember, give me a
All
call.
right, yeah.
Send me an email.
All right.
I mean, I'm fine with our, I mean, I think with our number now is good.
Yeah.
It's not, we're in desperate need, but.
I think I did mention something about, there was a new landowner, basically between the RSU property and where the development would be. I did mention that, so.
That might be
They-
what you're thinking.
What's that? Because they bought the property that was gonna be potentially a solar farm.
Okay.
So I did mention that, but
Does the snowmobile have a trail on that? Snowmobile club?
yeah,
Are
I've
they
spoke
friendly?
with Tyler. What's that?
The new owners of
Yeah.
that property, they're friendly?
Yeah, they're a young couple.
Oh, good.
Oh, this is Tyler's property?
Yeah.
So Tyler is very interested in public access and
Yes.
sidewalks and
Yeah.
he actually might be a good addition to this committee.
I think that's the guy.
Maybe that's
I think,
what-
I
Maybe
think,
that's,
I think that's.
Is that what we were talking about?
I think that's-
you've been down this rabbit hole?
Connection.
There.
I think that's what it was. That's it.
So yeah, if,
Yeah, I can touch base with Tyler and see if you have
Yeah.
interest in the committee for
Talk.
sure.
I don't know how to record that in minutes. It's too circular for me.
It was a lot, yeah.
Tyler talk.
That's it.
maybe we should have been up, let the dust settle.
Um, So, other new business, so the only other thing really for the other businesses, the article messages due on the 22nd. So, I could draft something on the mini. That's not a bad idea.
Oh my gosh. It's my new best friend.
I might have to try it. Anyway.
Oh, you're
There's
talking
something,
GPT.
there's something, I don't know, there's something weird about it.
It is weird. It's weird. But you know what?
And it
Oh my
doesn't-
God, it's
amazing.
oh my
It's a nice
God.
start, jumping off. point.
Yeah. Oh, and challenge it too, like, have them. I don't know what question I mean, we used it we're using it for advertising and for communicating with guests. And we said, go to this website, go to my website, analyze the website, tell me what my culture is, right? Like, what are the phrases? How do you, I mean, it totally nailed it.
Really?
Oh my God. It's like, it was like going to a business consulting seminar and it happened in like 30 seconds. And so then I take that and I go, all right, pretend like you're me and write a letter for this, right? And it was pretty good. I mean, I had to edit it, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. If you tell it to be funny, it's got some good jokes.
Could you use it to figure out how to make your town like more efficient or like more sustainable or self-sustaining?
Hold on a second.
That'd be interesting. Taking your population and what's going on with it.
Oh my
Here's how
goodness.
to make your town so.
Yeah, no, very useful tool. So try it on
I'll
this
give it a
letter.
shot.
Yeah, I mean, and you can write a rough draft, put it in,
Oh, yeah.
say,
Do AI peer.
make this more clear, make it more concise. Put it in the voice of whatever.
Give it a lighter fit.
Yeah. Funny. Start off with two jokes.
That's a little, make it more fun.
More professional.
Yeah, what, it's,
It's pretty amazing.
it is.
Good
I
writing.
don't know that I like all the AI stuff, but it is amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be in everything, but where it's useful, it's useful.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about how much electricity you're burning just to
I
do this
Oh,
I know.
that's
before you
true.
just jump in.
All right, I'll
But it's
just
free.
Google it the old fashioned way.
It's not, there's no free lunch.
That's right.
Oh, no, it's free. I know it.
Um, did you want to put
I
it?
should put that on. How
You
much
want-
this costs and.
How much
Carbon
did this
credits or
cost?
whatever.
Yeah.
Water.
Yeah.
You or Alexa or Gemini, want to put in
Yeah.
anything on the Prescott Hill Trail?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so I'll do the, yeah, I'll do the, RSU two and you can put something. All right, so let's see, just sort of figure out for next meeting,
When is that due?
the
22nd.
22nd.
So.
Oh,
I need
December?
to do it by the
Oh.
weekend.
You got 6 days.
Chuck, do you want me to run through a little bit of what I took for notes at the Reed Field committee? Is there
Sure,
anything?
yeah.
So just, I don't know if you'll need to take too many notes on this, but basically their agenda, and I didn't get a formal copy of it. They kind of went down through they've got a budget where they've fundraised or whatever, and they take care of their own stuff there. Then they go through kind of like maintenance on different sections of trails. They approved their budget that night, which I think for the year was like $700. It was basically to rebuild part of a bridge and stuff like that. They have something called a chairs meeting with the town manager. So the chairs from different committees throughout the town all go meet with the town manager, I guess, and they discuss what's going on within their committees. Another thing that they had was a cross committee report. So like in this case with our committee, I guess that would be like the Snowmobile Club reporting on what they're doing with trails potentially, or like if there's something with the age-friendly committee, maybe what they're looking at potentially doing that may relate to this committee specifically, along that line. Additional steward reports. So for every trail that they have in their area, they have a specific steward for that trail. So those stewards can take their time to just report on what's going on within their trails. One of their topics is kiosks. And then they just, at the end, touched base, kind of going through action items coming out of that meeting or whatever action items they may have to move forward with. So one of theirs was maps. I'll pass this around. This is one of their town maps. Basically outlines all the trails that they have there in Reed Field. And then another part of their agenda was a parking lot. So anything that may be like not pertinent or need to be acted on, but something they want to keep in mind for next meeting to potentially touch on. So anyways, it was beneficial. It was good to be able to hear what they were doing. They don't meet as frequently as we do by any means. I think they meet every 3 months. But
Oh, really?
so one thing I think we discussed at dinner that night was in terms of their equipment, that was something that did come up, and their town does not allow them to do anything with like mechanical equipment. Anything like hand equipment, like you said, bush cutters, things like that is fine. They urge their committee to either utilize something that the town has already, like with the town garage, and use their brush cutter or whatever it may be, versus having your own. Just, I think the big thing for them is like, where do you store it? If it's committees and it's being kept at somebody's house, just that sort of thing. So, that's just.
But if we had the infrastructure needs like material for a bridge or a
Yes.
culvert or,
Yeah.
you know, maybe we wanted 3 loads of 3/4 minus to redo a stretch of some trail somewhere.
Yep.
You know, work it into the budget. Now is the time.
But their committee was started in 2007, so they're about 18 years old.
Wow, that's cool.
Was?
Nice.
And they had roughly 11 on the committee, I guess. So But yeah, if anybody has any questions.
Is it
I'd love-
are they a town, like a town committee? Is it a town committee?
Yeah, they are considered a town committee, I guess. But like I said, they oversee their own funds, I guess. They had, I think, 3,000 or something like that they fundraised or had for donations that they kind of took care of that themselves, I think. So,
One thing Mike said in our conversation is that he is gonna try to like have us go to come to the recreation committee meeting, a couple of us, I think.
Nice map.
And increase, communication with the committees, each friend.
We need to do one of these from now.
I can find out more details. I think they used, so KLT uses this Gaia, GAIA, which is a GPS. And I think that's how they did that one as well. So,
Format's pretty nice. Indestructible paper.
I like the. Sort of nice, that.
Get it wet, doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
Yeah. Right, so a couple of things, let's just. Sorry. Next meeting,
When's our next meeting?
January 6th.
I am. I'm not gonna be.
Yeah.
I'll be here on the 20th.
The, look at the RFP. We want to. Nonprofit status. I'll see what I could put. Oh, see, I'll do some work on
Secretary of State's office.
that. And maybe talk about that, if we do budget for, if we have any meetings. Get a report from Sean. All fields. All right,
Motion to adjourn. It is 8:06. Not bad.